This Hunter Golden Gun build is going to cause some serious damage. You'll run around creating solar elemental wells to buff your solar weapons, use your golden gun to insta-kill champions and some bosses, and well guys, you'll just be having a blast with the Solar Subclass for the Hunter. This build is mostly for people who want to use the Golden Gun subclass on a Hunter because you've been using Void so much that you want to take a little break from it. Anyway, there's a few things we can do with this build, but this is your fully updated Season 16 Golden Gun build for Destiny 2 Witch Queen. Now this video is sponsored by USMMO. They sell cheap Destiny 2 silver, so if you're looking for a good deal, they have just that. Feel free to check them out below along with my discount code, and if you enjoy this one, why not leave a rating to show your support and comment down below if you'll be using the Golden Gun anytime soon. But now guys, let's get straight into the video. Now as always, if you do like these build videos and you want to see more new and updated builds for Destiny 2 Witch Queen, then be sure to check out that full playlist. It's linked down below because I do create builds like this weekly here on the channel. Now this build is going to be a fairly short one as it is an updated Golden Gun build and there's not really too much to it. It is a really simple build, so there's nothing that really overcomplicates this one in terms of actually maximizing the effectiveness of the build. It's as simple as running and gunning and using your super when you need to, but I'll explain everything as we go along setting up the build. So this build is best used in things like a Legend or Master Lost Sector, a Strike, Nightfall, Raid, and well pretty much anything in the game. How this build actually works is you'll simply run in and use your throwing knife to get a final blow to the head of an enemy, that is if you can. This will spawn a solar elemental well and refund that knife, and then picking up that well will buff your weapon DPS for your solar weapons, while also giving you ability energy and charge light. You'll use both Font of Might for the 25% damage buff and high energy fire, which stacks for another 20% buff. This doesn't stack with things like a Titan Bubble or Warlock's Well of Radiance, so just be aware of that, but the Font of Might will. You can then use these DPS buffs on either a Galley, a Sleeper, or any solar energy and heavy weapon. You could even go with a Lucky Pants build like I covered last season to buff your DPS even further, as that will stack with weapon damage perks, Font of Might, and the high energy fire or a Bubble / Well. It's actually quite funny because some hand cannons can actually melt champions with these buffs applied to them, but we are going to use this build with the classic Celestial Nighthawk, but you can use Lucky Pants with the same setup. So let's go through that setup now. So starting with the loadout, you kind of want to use solar weapons to increase the DPS of those weapons. So for this build, I'm basing it on a Legend Lost Sector where barrier champions are present. I'll be using an Eriana's Vow, but you can use any other solar weapon of your choice. For the subclass, we are a bottom tree Golden Gun that comes with a knife melee, and you can throw that knife on adds, and hitting a precision shot will give you that knife straight back, and also hitting precision shots will reduce the cooldown of your super. Now I'm also using a Gambler's Dodge for whenever I miss with the throwing knife so that I can dodge near an enemy to get that straight back. As for the exotic, we'll be using the Celestial Nighthawk, but other exotics you can use are Star Eater Scales to overcharge your super, or the Lucky Pants to increase Hand Cannon DPS. For this build today though, we're going to be using the Celestial Nighthawk, which modifies the Golden Gun to fire one single shot, but with much higher damage. Now for your mods, we have Melee Wellmaker, as using our knife on adds will create a solar elemental well, elemental ornaments to spawn a solar well when getting kills with our solar weapons, and then Font of Might to increase our DPS with solar weapons when picking up that well. But we're also using elemental charge to become charge light when getting that well too, which we'll use on high energy fire. You can use this, or you can use Argent Ordnance if using rockets. So every elemental well created, picking it up will give us a double buff. For the normal mods, I've got my ammo finder mods for our special and heavy weapon. Then in the gauntlets we have our champion mods that you may need. Then our damage resist mods in the chest armor. For the legs we have better already, but you can swap this out to anything you prefer. But you do also want your scavenger mod for again that heavy weapon. Lastly for the class we have Lucent Finisher, which you'll use on champions to spawn heavy ammo, which is perfect for solo players, which means you don't always need to rely on the ammo finder mods. Now for your stats, I'd max out mobility first to get your dodge back to then get your melee back, and then intellect for that faster super cooldown. Now this build isn't currently the complete best build in the game since it is a solo build and right now void builds are just smashing in-game PvE, but this build is definitely something worth using if you do want to run a good solo Golden Gun build this season for any reason. I wouldn't take this into a GM though, because void on a Hunter is really the only thing I recommend you take into a Grandmaster Nightfall this season, since you have that infinite invisibility and the Mobius Quiver that can pull off 200k DPS. So I'd recommend using that build in a GM over this one, which you can see in the playlist below. But you can use this one in your daily activities like strikes or doing missions and quests. Overall though, it's not bad, but it is more of a fun build to use rather than a build you'll take seriously to say doing a flawless dungeon run, for example. But guys, that there is your newly updated hunter build for the golden gun in Destiny 2 Witch Queen Season of the Risen. As always, don't forget to check out the full playlist of the top best builds to use in Season 16, as I do create these builds on a weekly basis, and if you enjoyed this one, then leaving a thumbs up is much appreciated. But for now guys, go insta kill some champs for this Goldie, and whatever you get up to, have a good one, and I'll see you very soon for the next build. Peace out.